Well, hi everyone. So good that you're here with us today. And my name is Megan Wagner, and I'm here with my friend Steve Pope. And when in the 1990s, we were together in London studying in a Kabbalah group and met each other and studied together and had just an amazing time. And then we both became Kabbalah teachers and went our separate ways. I moved to California and Steve moved to the south of France. And we decided that it would be a great idea to collaborate on some mystical Hebrew courses. We have a huge group of students here in California who are really interested, and I know Steve does a lot of teaching in France and has a lot of people coming to France to study with him. So we thought we'd put some of these wonderful courses online so that people around the world could appreciate the amazing amount of knowledge that Steve has. And so I'm here to help him collaborate and to get these wonderful courses out to the world. So this first course that we're going to describe now is the Mystical Hebrew Introduction course. So Steve, take it away and just, I know you're so passionate about this subject. So just start us off and then I'll chime in with some of the lessons that we're going to do in this course.
Yes, okay. So one of the first things that, as Megan said, we studied Kabbalah for a long time together. For myself, I studying Hebrew academically at university, but I've always had this key into mystical teachings of the Kabbalah. And one of the things that drew me down to the south of France is that here in what is the Cathar country of Occitan region of France was an extremely important school, the School of Isaac the Blind. And the origins really of not so much studying it academically, Hebrew academically, but to understand that the Hebrew letter numbers are energies of the universe. Mm-hmm. They exist within us and they exist in all things. Now, another way of looking at this is that they are portals between a formless, spiritual, creative universe and a universe of forms that we are immersed in. So they act as a bridge between the spirit and the soul, and between the essence of life as that creative outpouring, which is of this moment now, and the forms, as I said, we are immersed in and that are all around us.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I've been the beneficiary of your teachings now for over a year, and it's just really blown my mind. I mean, I've learned so much about sitting with the letter numbers and allowing them to live inside of me, and I can really feel now what you're saying. I just wanted to read something from your first class, Steve. Yeah. Just a paragraph. It says, put simply, the Hebrew letter numbers are a map of the spiritual creative universe called Beriah by Kabbalists. Put another way, they are portals from the mind's perspective within the universe of forms into the non-visual spiritual dimension. The Hebrew text, as originally intended, can be best understood by consciously receiving the letters in meditation. This is the essence of Hebraic Kabbalah, to receive the teaching directly from Yahweh Elohim, which means from the source of all life, conscious presence. So can you just comment on that or elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, just to say that what Megan has just read out is, in essence, what we do with the students is we go through each Hebrew letter number as a meditation, and then we see how they are linked to each other. And then we look at them in the sacred biblical Hebrew texts in the Torah and the Hebrew texts, which make up the books of the Hebrew Testament, some people call the Old Testament. And So we are then going into the dynamics of how these letter numbers emerge within the soul.
Mm, it's really powerful. Yeah, and I like that they're living inside each one of us so that rather than seeing them as outside, we're really
Yeah,
taking them in as almost like codes of awakening inside each person. So that's what I
yeah,
found with them, that I've actually awakened certain parts of myself as I've been studying with you.
absolutely, yes. They are, in fact, to receive them into our physical vehicle is one of the reasons why we are here in this
Mm,
world, in what we the mind perceives as a physical embodiment.
mhm.
That changes as we awaken, how we perceive that, and the Hebrew letters are there to awaken and change the structure within the body. Um,
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty mind-boggling, actually. That's really amazing. Um, I wanted to read some of the titles of the courses, of the classes that are within this course, and then I'll ask you to comment on a couple of them that I think were really juicy. So we did Introduction to the Hebrew Letters several times so that people really get an idea of how to draw the letters and how to start to feel into each of the meaning, the mystical meaning of the letters. And then one lesson was on Live in Co-Creation with All of Life, Genesis Reimagined, The Heart of Humanity is Yahweh, Exodus Reimagined, I Am Who I Am, and Awakening Universal Consciousness. So really, really juicy topics. Um, Lesson 5 was on Live in Co-Creation with All Life. Can you say something about that?
yes, that comes really out of I think it's the previous one with Bereshith reimagined,
Yeah.
and so they work very much together. And a Bereshith bara Elohim et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz is the opening line of the Torah. So what that means and what we explore, what we begin to explore, is that the creation is of now within us. It's of now within everything that we perceive as the outer world. And as our own deepening of awareness opens out, we connect with our fellow creatures who are creating the universe as this moment now.
Mm.
So it's a deepening of awareness that gives us an opportunity or the ability to have a deeper connection with the natural world, a deeper connection with the solar system and the universe, or unfolding through the cosmos.
Mm, beautiful. That was my next question. If you could elaborate on the last lesson, which is Awakening Universal Consciousness.
Yeah, so one of the things that we explore in this, and we take it further in one of the other courses that we will talk about later, um, is that the universal consciousness, whether it's called Yahweh or Yahweh Elohim or Ehyeh, or any of the other divine names, is within us.
Mm.
There is no external entity. Our intimate connection with the universal consciousness arises within our heart as we awaken. Um, so this brings about the idea of enlightenment, and that we fully incarnate the divine presence
Mm.
through our form. And that brings us to the point that enlightenment is not an individual exercise or happening, it is a universal. And as we awaken to that universal consciousness, we become aware that we are supported by the rest of life in our spiritual awakening.
Mhm.
So it's a very much a sense of communion with the whole of life, which is multidimensional. The
Mm.
universe is multidimensional, and we are multidimensional beings within a multidimensional universe. And all of our fellow creatures, all the animals, plants, minerals, etc., are multidimensional aspects of the one consciousness.
Mm. Yeah, that's a beautiful depiction. Well, why don't we leave it there for our introduction to this amazing course? Really would encourage anybody who's interested to take this course. It was my introduction to Hebrew, and it was really what I was looking for because I wanted to understand Hebrew from this mystical perspective. So I want to thank you for all the work you've done over the years and really made this course very special. So thanks, Steve. And
Thank you.
we hope
Thank you so
people are going
much.
to enjoy this course.